Well, hello and welcome back to the Strong Women Collective podcast. We are in the middle of a great British summer heat wave. So, how are you feeling? Are you sweaty, clammy? Are your thighs chafing? I'm all of the above. You will be so pleased to know. I must admit, it is 1:30 when I'm recording this podcast, and I have literally just had a lunchtime shower because I'm so sweaty. But I will say, if you work from home and you have the capacity to, it is a freaking game changer, and I'm all for being cool and comfortable. And to be honest, this is like the theme of today's podcast. I know not so long ago, I was talking about summer body image. I want to do a slightly different take on it because there's still a lot of narrative coming up. And I know that I'm having these conversations with my clients. And I'm like, if I'm having these conversations with the people that work with me, chances are many of you are going to be thinking the same thing. And actually, what the lens I want to take today is on summer body positivity, because I think there's two really distinct camps when it comes to summertime. You have got diet into your bikini body, get summer body ready, get beach body ready, very much pushing the narrative that for you to live your best summer life, you need to be smaller. And then you've got the other side, which is the very much everybody's a bikini body, just wear the damn bikini and don't give a shit, okay? And unsurprisingly, I sit somewhere in the middle ground in the sense that I am pro fat loss if it is right for you. And I don't disagree that in the summer months is when potentially we do want to be a little bit leaner and we may feel slightly uncomfortable if we're at the larger end of our range. And I firmly believe we all have a range that we are happy with, like weight-wise, size-wise, etc. And for many of us, we might fluctuate a size, top and bottom, across the course of a year. And I think it is ridiculous to believe that we should be the same weight, the same size, the same body composition all year round, okay? And I have a lot of clients who do want to, through their own choice, follow more that mold of gaining muscle, gaining strength, being happier, potentially half a size to a size bigger across the autumn, winter months, and then diet in spring to be at their leaner end for summer. And I think if that is coming from a healthful place, you are not putting your body in any major restriction, you're not doing any damage. I personally do not think that is wrong for many, many people. What I don't enjoy are the blankets, either you must diet or you must just accept where you're at. And I also speak through the lens of somebody who has historically dieted for many a summer. And not so much last year, really. I never really got off the ground for a variety of reasons. But 2023, I dieted. 2024, a little bit, but not really anything aggressive. Didn't in 2022. 2020 was the last longer term fat loss phase I did. So I went into summer 2021, somewhere a little bit above maintenance. But prior to that, 2018, 2019, and then most of my 20s was spent just wanting to shrink, not necessarily for summer, but just always wanted to be skinnier. Anyway, so that's like a little bit of my history. If you guys have been here long enough, you will know this. I firmly don't believe there's anything wrong with dieting, and I don't believe there's anything wrong with wanting to feel your best. However, I find the narrative at this time of year, even for me as somebody who's got a pretty decent relationship with their body, pretty awesome relationship with food these days, I find it a struggle. So if I am coming at it from, I'm in a perfectly healthy body, I've got a decent amount of muscle mass, I train consistently all year round, I eat well pretty much all year round. If I'm like, well, if I'm struggling, then what the hell are other people feeling who maybe don't have the knowledge or maybe haven't got to that stage in their diet yet? And kind of here's where I sit in terms of summer body positivity. I believe your body deserves respect no matter what. Whether you are tired, sick, injured, frustrated, you feel you're larger than you want to be, you are overweight, all of these things. I believe that fundamentally your body deserves respect. And again, I spent a very long time essentially abusing mine. I went through a patch where I drank too much. I then tried to compensate with over restriction. I had very warped eating habits. I probably was borderline binge eating. So it comes from that narrative for me. And I see this a lot with the women that I work with. But I fundamentally believe that you have the right to want to change it. But I don't believe you should be embarking on a fat loss phase just because it's summer, right? And I think the core concept of being more body positivity means coming at it from a place of respect and being aware of why you're doing this thing. So obviously part of my coaching is I am a fat loss coach. I don't refuse fat loss for anybody unless I truly believe it's not right for them. Okay. So I couldn't sit here as a fat loss coach and be like, you should not diet for summer. You should just wear that bikini and slap some fake tan on and be feeling awesome, because I know that you might not be feeling that way. I also know we're at the middle of May, the end of May. So kind of summer in some ilk is here, which is then causing a lot of coaches to push that narrative of like, well, it's too late. You should start 12 weeks ago. But the age old, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now, or whatever the saying is. I've just bastardized that for my own ends. Yes, okay, maybe theoretically, if you wanted to lose weight for summer being, a period of 3 to 4 months, maybe you should have thought about starting 4 months ago. But actually, there's nothing wrong with starting now. But this is the crux of the matter. I think if you're coming at it from, I will lose the most weight possible in the shortest space of time, you are possibly setting yourself up for failure. I'm all for a slightly more aggressive deficit, but I'm not here for being a dick to yourself. Okay. Coming back to point number one of any form of body positivity means having respect for yourself and respect for your body to know that starving it and taking it to extremes is no good. So I do not believe it is too late to start thinking about this, because I think there is a certain element where if you're not happy right now and you go, well, fuck it, because the body positivity movement told me that I should just be really happy with where I'm at right now, so I'm just going to eat and drink my way through summer, you're potentially going to feel worse come autumn, winter, right? What you're doing now probably does set the tone for what you're going to be doing in 3 to 4 months time. So if you've already started using every opportunity of sunshine as a chance to drink loads of Aperol, eat crisps, eat chips, not cook a proper meal, not have vegetables because it's too hot, skip the gym because it's too warm, don't go for a walk because it's too warm, all of that's probably going to set the tone for what's going to be happening in the next 3 to 4 months. Okay. So it is not too late to do something about it, should that be very important to you. But also, don't go looking for some quick fix. Start thinking more of the healthful habits, because I believe you can want to change, but you can still operate from a place of respect and kindness for yourself, knowing that your body literally carries you through everyday life. So I don't believe you have to just accept, well, this is where I am, I shouldn't diet. Many of you maybe shouldn't diet, but for those of you that have literally no contraindication that says that you shouldn't, then why not? Why not, if that's going to make you feel good? Do that whilst also layering in respect, gratitude, moving your body because it makes you feel good, not just thinking shrink, 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 shrink. Conversely, if it is not right for you to diet right now, but you're in a body shape size that is maybe not where you want it to be, whether it's larger, has more body fat, has less muscle, that also doesn't mean that you shouldn't start thinking about your healthful habits and behaviors and start trying to implement them now, even if it doesn't yield any physical change. Because you can walk more, drink more water, eat more whole foods, have more vegetables, and not see any change on the scales, but feel better, have more energy, sleep better, have clearer skin, be able to show up in a more present way for your family. And that's also awesome, even if you don't lose a single pound. It's like the only win is not just losing body fat. And I think we need to kind of get better at being clear on that is not the only be all and end all. But in order for you to feel more positive in your own skin this summer, regardless of whether you diet or you don't, you need to start acting as that version of you. And obviously having respect is a key point. Not starving it, not punishing it, down this side, but also not just eating highly processed food and drinking alcohol and skipping out on your veg. Balance doesn't sound sexy. The middle ground isn't something that a lot of people think is sexy. I know we're very into aggressive dieting, GLP-1s, let's be smaller, let's be more muscular, all of this. But actually, the middle ground is sexy, because the middle ground is that space where you get to show up as the best version of you. You get to have energy. You get to train because it makes you feel good. You get to eat great food, but you also don't fear going out to dinner. Or if somebody says, do you want a glass of wine? And actually you are like, yeah, I really freaking do. You can say yes without any fear that this is going to quote quote unquote like undo all your progress, right? So yes, that takes the work to get there, but there's nothing wrong with aiming for that middle ground, aiming for balance. You do not all have to want to be walking around with a six pack. Like, I don't want to be walking around with a six pack all year round. I want to be a level of muscular where I feel great, and I want to have a low enough body fat percentage that I feel really good. But that to me does not mean having veins popping out of every crevice, having an 8-pack, losing my period, having my hair fall out, being so angular that I just look like I've had a shit ton of filler in my face. That's not my definition of healthy for me. And I actually saw a reel earlier. I screen recorded it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Of a woman being like, personal trainers, your body is your business card. If you do not look like you train, then what have I got to learn from you? And she's somebody who styles herself as the lean woman. And I'm like, well, if all you've got going for you is that you're lean, then good for you, but you should probably develop a better personality. But it was just such a weird take. Like, obviously, I appreciate some people want to train with a coach who does look very muscular. Some people also want a coach who looks more like them, or like more, dare I say, normal, because they find that too much muscularity is off-putting, it's daunting, it's intimidating, and it makes them feel some kind of way. Not all coaches should be shredded with a six-pack or necessarily with shit tons of visible muscle mass. Like, the same way that just competing in a bikini competition doesn't make you a great coach. It doesn't mean you're going to have any knowledge or you are going to be able to coach somebody effectively to lose weight, gain muscle, tone up, feel amazing in their own skin, because potentially you could be operating from a disordered place. But anyway, that's a whole other segue that really pissed me off, because yes, I know I look a certain amount of muscular, but I'm also not the leanest. I absolutely will be aware that there will be people that will come onto my page and be like, nah, what can she teach me? Fine, cool. I don't want to help you. Like, if that's your attitude, then I don't want to help you, because I'm not coaching bikini competitors. I'm not coaching competitive athletes. I am coaching women aged mostly 25 to 55 who are sick of diet culture, who yo-yo diet, who don't understand why they overeat every weekend, who want to get into a consistent gym routine, who want to build confidence in doing movements like deadlifts, pull-ups, push-ups, hip thrusts, who want to be able to go out and eat and drink and socialize with their family and friends without making themselves feel shit afterwards. Like, those are the people that I want to work with. Those people do not need me to be walking around with a six-pack. They don't. They need me to prove to them that I know what I'm doing, and to prove to them that I know that I can help them get results. But it's multifaceted. It's not just, I don't need to have veins in my biceps in order for them to take me seriously. But some people still weirdly think that, you having abs is the only flex of a criterion that you need to fulfill. Anyway, I'm segueing. When we're talking about this summer body positivity, right? So we've got the fact that we're going to start showing ourselves respect, the fact that we're not going to be a dick to ourselves. We also want to move from a place of gratitude and appreciation, in the sense of, it is good for you to move every single day, regardless of whether or not you want to. And the most kind thing, the most beneficial thing you can do for yourself is to get over the fact that you are not going to want to do these things every day, and just do them anyway. Because you skipping a walk because you can't be bothered isn't a particularly respectful thing for you to do to your body. You not having a salad alongside your main meal because you couldn't be asked to go to the shop is not a kind thing. You skipping a gym workout because you've had some minor inconvenience is not a respectful thing to do. That respect works both ways. It means not being a dick to yourself and being like, oh, you're so pathetic, you're such a fat slob because you didn't do this. It's also not ever having to challenge yourself to do something that's hard, okay? So we need to get into moving from that place of gratitude, appreciation, respect, going and moving daily, going for walks, training, going to the gym, getting our resistance sessions in because it is good for us. And yes, that might even mean that you're very sweaty doing your cardio right now. I would like to point out, I did my spin class at 6:15 last night. No fan, no aircon. The back bedroom faces where the sun is. Holy shit. So much water. Like, I was dripping. But I felt really good for it. I felt really good because physically my body was not incapable. I did a 5K run on Sunday. Now that, I will admit, outside at the outside the Trafford Centre. So there was a stretch where you're running down the road. That was a fail, not taking water. But again, my mum was like, why on earth did you do that? I'm like, because I'm not incapable. It's hot, yes. Yeah, it wasn't pleasant, but it's not incapable. I mean, it was 10:30 in the morning. Like, it wasn't that hot. I mean, it was warm. But there's physically nothing to stop me from doing that. That, like, I am well, not mentally, but, physically. The next layer of body positivity in summer is dressing for the body that you have right now, not the body that you want. Because if there is one thing that crushes your summer body image and your hopes and dreams faster than your multitude of exes who were absolute trash, is not wearing clothes that fit now. And I say this to people who are going on holiday soon, who have got trips away. Buy, sell your other shit, get on Vinted, buy some cheap bits, go to Primark, go to H&M, go to Shein if that floats your boat. It is no good for you to be going into this summer trying to fit in clothes that don't fit you, because that is going to make you more uncomfortable. And a really good rule of thumb is if it's tight at 9 a.m. before the sun really gets up, by 4 p.m. it is going to be unbearable. And I also implore you to make better choices than I did. The year was 2022. It was 2022. I went for my first trip away with my boyfriend. We went to Lisbon. I packed only denim shorts, nothing elasticated, nothing floaty from a daytime perspective. Biggest fail of my life. Do you know what? No, tell a lie. I took one pair of gym shorts. On the last day, I actually went out walking around in gym shorts because I was so uncomfortable because it was so warm. It was like 35 to 40 degrees. It was that summer where we had that real heat wave and like Europe was absolutely on fire. And I remember being in these denim shorts. I immediately got home and gave to my cousin because I was like, I can never do that again. They were rubbing my legs. Every time I went for a wee, I felt like I had to like scrape them down my thighs. It was a complete fail. If you start the day uncomfortable, you are going to end it absolutely freaking miserable, okay? So dressing for the body that you have is automatically going to make you feel more body positive. It is going to make you feel better. Floaty dresses, wrap dresses, strappy dresses with little like cycling shorts underneath are great if your thighs are a little bit stronger and a little bit juicier like mine are. Elasticated waistbands, nice breathable materials, not wearing a structured underwired bra in the sun. Like maybe you do wear a bikini top underneath or you wear a sports bra. If you go in to these summer months armed with clothes that make you feel good, no matter how you are, whether you have gained a couple of kilos because you're on your period or gained a couple of kilos because you're hot and sweaty and clammy, go armed for that, not this is my leaner day, this is when I've woken up feeling super slim, let me just dress for that body. I promise you it will have you feeling better and more confident. And when you're feeling more confident, you're going to then show up as a better version of you. Whereas if you start the day uncomfortable in clothes that are too tight, you are more likely to slip into skipping meals, just masking it with alcohol, not moving your body because you feel uncomfortable. And then again, coming back to that first point, respect, you're not going to be showing your body any respect, like whatsoever. Like ditch the denim, cool fabrics, linen shirts, comfy clothes. It will change the game. Okay. I saw something somebody wrote, and it was actually on a Reddit thread about body positivity not that long ago, and I saved this, and this is a comment that somebody put, okay? Remember the spotlight effect. Most people simply don't see you the way you do. I gain and lose weight all the time and nobody notices except me. The terrible thing about people is we're all horribly self-centered, but it's kind of good when you realize that everyone else is also so self-centered. They're probably thinking about how they look, not you look. And that is something that I think is so freaking true when it comes to rationalizing the internal narrative across the summer months. Everybody is self-absorbed. If I am on a beach, I am not looking at what you're wearing. I don't care whether you're in a bikini, thong bikini, boobs out, bum out, have shaved your legs, haven't shaved your legs, shaved your bikini line, haven't shaved your bikini line, because I'm probably too busy stressing about the positioning of my thong bikini. Because yes, sorry to the right sisters, if you saw this from the Towie podcast clip, yeah, I do wear a thong bikini because you don't put as much time and effort into your ass as I have to then not get it out, okay? And it's actually a cut that I find a lot more flattering. You need to remember this because, again, let's draw it back. I'm trying to get better at this whole like drawing it back to the main topic thing, right? Summer body positivity. You talking to yourself like shit is only going to make you feel worse. You trying to second guess what everybody else thinking is only going to make you feel worse, because chances are nobody is thinking about your body as much as you are thinking about it. And it's like the age old. When you get to your best friend's funeral, would you ever say, oh, I loved her so much because she was a size 8, 10, 12, 14, because she went to the gym, because she dieted? No, you freaking wouldn't. And the same is going to be said of you. But in our own little self-absorbed ways, we forget this. We forget that the things we're thinking about other people that are kind, and we talk about how they make us laugh and how they make us feel, other people are thinking that about us too. And if they're not, then they're not really our people. But that is like a whole other aside. I think in terms of like how we move forwards, okay, I think whether or not you want to physically do something, i.e. you do want to diet right now, and you are like, okay, well, this little snapshot of warm weather in the UK has made me realize that actually I am feeling really uncomfortable, and I'm not moving well, and I'm getting out of breath, and I'm not really feeling great. I don't think there's anything wrong with starting to make more positive changes. But from the perspective of, make sure you hydrate yourself, make sure you fuel your body, so you eat 3 decent sized meals a day. You make sure that you move every single day. You make sure that you resistance train at least 2 to 3 times a week. You make sure you practice gratitude. These are the things that we want to be seeing. It doesn't matter the size of your deficit. It doesn't matter whether you're pushing for a calorie deficit at all, or you just go, do you know what? I'm just going to commit to looking after myself a little bit more. I'm going to make sure that I sleep. I'm going to make sure that I'm not doom scrolling before bed. I'm going to make sure that I say one nice thing about myself every day. These are the things that are going to have you feeling more body positive. Because yes, again, I've spoken quite openly about how I've been doing a little fat loss phase. I'm only 3 kilos down, but it's not that the weight is the biggest thing. It's the fact that I've actually just really committed to showing up for myself, and I've stopped cutting corners, and I've stopped taking the piss out of myself, and I've stopped settling for, oh, that's good enough. I've been really quite on it. I've been pushing to do more cardio. I pushed myself out of my comfort zone to go on that run at the weekend. I have been really prioritizing my protein, not just because I want the outcome of losing weight, right, which I did, but also because those are the actions that are going to have me feeling better. And 3 kilos is not the end of the world. It's not anything to be sniffed at. You know, I don't regret doing it, and I'm not going to stop. But it's not like I've lost 10 kilos. It's just more I have realigned my habits and my behaviors, and I've stopped drinking for the sake of it. And I've really questioned, do I need this pastry? Do I really want this? Am I just having it for the sake of it? So I'm making those better decisions, which ultimately have me feeling better. And yeah, dare I say, they are making me feel a bit more positive. I feel a little bit more like me again. I'm back to wearing a bit of colour. I've bought a couple of new dresses recently, just things that I wasn't doing before, which is just, you know, it's a bit shit. And I don't really want to be spending my time doing that. I think just because it's summer, it's not an excuse to give up and stop trying. But it also doesn't mean you need to embark on the world's greatest deficit. I think coming back to, what does body positivity mean for you? How do you show up best? How does the best version of you, how does she act? Because regardless of how much she eats in terms of calories, I reckon she eats regularly. I reckon she doesn't skip meals. I reckon she moves her body. She sleeps 7 to 8 hours. She wears SPF. You know, she looks after her hair. She looks after her skin. She's proud. That doesn't matter what size you are. It doesn't matter if you're coming at it from a larger body, an underweight body. It doesn't matter whether you want to wear a bikini on the beach or you're happier in swimsuits. You are happier with a little cute cover-up or a sarong, or you always like to wear a beach shirt. That doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter how you want to put yourself out there. What matters is you do it from the place where you are giving yourself the most respect. But coming back to that, respect works both ways. It's not always giving in to yourself as much as it's not always being an arsehole to yourself. Anyway, this right here was my word dump, if you like, on summer body positivity, because I don't want anyone to find my Instagram, my social media, and be like, Harriet's telling me I have to diet to feel my best this summer, because I don't believe you do. I think it's more about how you act. So again, recap: hydration, sleep, movement, fuel, practicing gratitude, being kind, speaking to yourself like you would your best friend. It's that stuff, as much as it might also be getting in a calorie deficit to lose some weight, adding more weight on the machines because I want to get more muscle tone. That's fine. Whether you wear the bikini or you don't wear the bikini, you want to wear shorts or you don't want to wear the shorts, that's not the bit that matters, because that again can come down to personal preference. If you want to diet, I do not believe that you shouldn't do so just because we're in the end of May. You could spend June, July dieting to ease off in August. But even if you're in a calorie deficit across the entirety of this summer, a time where many people would be saying, oh, you know, you should have done it February to April, it's too late now. It's not too late. It might be quote unquote harder because you've got holidays or you've got social occasions, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try, because that can kick the ball rolling and start you feeling better so that next summer you can have a whole clear patch where you don't worry about dieting whatsoever. There is nothing wrong with being in a calorie deficit in summer, even if it's only Monday to Friday and you have maintenance days in the weekend and you do that on purpose. I just think the fitness industry loves it's now or never, it's too late, you fucking missed the boat. Rah, rah, rah. They love those extremes. You can start anytime you like. You could also start a fat loss phase on the 23rd of December if you wanted to. If it's right for you, it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks. And here endeth today's sermon. It's hot as balls, but I hope wherever you are staying cool, you're staying hydrated, and you are staying respectful of your body. And please, 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 girls, if you get Botox, make sure you have got SPF aplenty on those precious, precious, expensive little foreheads. I'll be back on YouTube later on this week with my week 6 fat loss close out, and I'll talk you through my next steps for anyone that's interested. Last little bit from me. Spaces for the 8-week intake of my group program, the Strong Girl Gang, are on sale as of Thursday at 7 a.m. to the priority list only. Yes, the Strong Girl Gang is a fat loss program, but it is more than just a fat loss program. It is also not alone a fat loss program. You do not have to come to me with fat loss goals, okay? But it is a program that can be adapted for losing weight, gaining muscle, learning how to maintain, learning how to make better nutritional choices away from calorie tracking, all of that. Inside the group, you get 4 one-to-one check-ins with me. You have a training program. We've got choices from 3 or 4 days, beginners, intermediates, advanced, home or gym, so we're fit for everyone. You get personalized targets like movement, calories, macros, etc. where appropriate. But the big thing is you get so much time with me. We do weekly live calls. We've got a gorgeous group chat. Everybody gets like stuck in supporting each other. And this is great whether you just want a kickstart into the summer months, you really want to make waves to lose like 3 to 5 kilos, you want to get into a training routine. The Strong Girl Gang is the transformation program that doesn't pigeonhole you into being just one thing. All the details are in the show notes, but you can also go to strongwomencollective.com/SGG. If you get yourself on the priority list, you get first dibs access when the doors open on Thursday, and you'll only pay £159 for the entire 8 weeks coaching, which means it is officially the cheapest way for you to be coached by me. Have a gorgeous week. Stay hydrated, stay cool, and I will be back with you next week. Goodbye.